Hi guys, it is Saturday the 3rd of July. I am just on my way. This is going to be an interesting video, I think. As you guessed from the thumbnail, I'm on my way to see, or to meet up with my original Army Basic Training Corporal. This guy has run me ragged, as is his job, you know, it's quite entitled to. I'm feeling a little bit nervous. I'm sure he'll be fine. Seems like a great guy. I'm sure we'll get some great footage out of it. That's why I'm doing it. And I think it could be a really cracking video. Let's hope it is. Anyway, time for the 45-minute drive to where he is. Hi guys, we are in sunny Lymington today. Bit of a strange one today, but I've been wanting to do this for a while. So let's introduce you. You know me, my name's Dean, travelling veteran, and we have...
My name's Phill Little, and I am Dean's ex-section commander when he was in training.
It's crazy. I'll be honest with you, Phil. I was really nervous about coming up here today. It's great to meet you, great to bump into you. I think this video will be really awesome. And it's good to bump into you again after all these years. So, a little bit of backstory. I started my basic training in 22nd of February 96, and you were part of the training team then. I was career platoon, you were my section commander. I think there's 12 of us. And that was 27 years ago now. Can you believe that? It's just, it goes by so quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, mate. Yeah.
Bit of backstory into me, why I joined the Army. So I was, before I joined the Army, I was pulling pints in Wetherspoons, and I thought, it's something I always wanted to do. You sort of know if you want to join the Army, it's something in you, isn't it? And that's what I wanted to do. And I thought, if there's a time in my life, or a point in my life, when my life's not going anywhere, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I've done. And that's where I bumped into Phil. When were you at Bassingbourn?
I went to Bassingbourn in 1992, and I left in 1997, and I trained 12 platoons. 12 platoons? Yeah. I started there initially just training infantry, because the Queen's Division, as you know, being ex-Royal Regiment Fusiliers when you joined, was Queen's Regiment, Royal Anglian Regiment, and the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers. So that was the Queen's Division. They were the 3 regiments, and it was infantry only. And then I did 2 infantry platoons, and then they decided that the RLC, the Royal Engineers, and the Royal Signals were going to conduct their training at Bassingbourn.
That's that right?
Yeah, so we still did the 10 weeks, called CMSR, but then we had to change it all, and then we had mixed platoons. So for the first time, I think, at Bassingbourn, we had females and different corps and infantry all in the same section together.
Got it, yeah.
So we had to sort of learn how to train people all over again.
You done 12 intakes?
Yeah.
About 12 people per intake? Was that your section?
Yeah, it was.
Right?
Yeah,
so 12 times 12,
section,
is that 144?
Yeah.
144 people you're responsible. Not forgetting, if you're part of a platoon, you've obviously got other people that you're sort of taking command of as well. So you must have had thousands of recruits pass through your training troops, if you like. And I say, training was, for those civilians, if you're watching this and you don't know what army training is like, basic training, well, when you first join the army, you have to do like a basic training. It's all changed since I was in, but it used to be 10 weeks of phase 1, and then I think 12 weeks phase 2, is that right?
Yeah.
So it takes you from being a civilian to being ready to fight soldier sort of thing. It was hard. If you imagine the film Full Metal Jacket, you look at that, and that is the training that you have to go through. Right? It's hard and it's tough. And funny enough, that is where Full Metal Jacket was filmed, wasn't it?
I was a recruit when that was being filmed there.
Was you?
Yeah.
Did you meet many of the stars or anything?
No, I didn't see anyone, but what we did do, they built that great big Trinasium assault course.
That's it.
And we were one of the first lot to go over it as recruits. And I don't do heights, and
No.
I was Private Pyle at the top of that tornado on that big cargo.
So that was you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like that, yeah. Jesus.
Oh, brilliant. So I say training was hard, but it was hard for a reason. When I left training, I left during phase 2 and I joined Royal Logistic Corps. I just wanted something different to infantry, if you like. I'd done tours in Bosnia, I'd done tours in Iraq, and training was hard for a reason, and that's because being on tour, I call it being on tour. Civilians would know that as being, what would you say?
In conflict.
In conflict, combat, whatever, front line some people say, but it's, you know, being away in the army, Iraq, Bosnia, Afghanistan, all that sort of stuff, yeah. It's not easy, is it? Being on tour is tough. People struggle being on tour, and they struggle for the rest of their lives as well, really. There has been times where you're going down a path, you know you can't back out, so you've got to go through whatever the obstruction is there, and you've got to try and overcome whatever's there, sort of thing. And that is where your training kicks in, and you know your capabilities, and you know what you can get through, whether you can get through, that sort of thing. You have the grit and determination to just stand your ground and just go and do whatever it needs to do. And that's thanks to these guys. So Phil, thank you very much for that.
That's all right.
I really appreciate you putting me through hell. It's for a reason, and it's a good reason. So thanks for that. I appreciate it. So a bit about training. Okay, when we've done training, you gave me a hard time, and I remember something very specific. At the time of being a 19-year-old recruit, I was so annoyed, but looking back, it just makes me really laugh. Now, you used to bring your daughter into the training wing, into our accommodation, and I remember your daughter used to come with inspections, and you used to tell her to trash our lockers. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. How old's your daughter now?
36.
36. Yeah. He used to send these. How old was she? 4 years old? 4 years old?
Yeah.
At the time, and you'd be looking at this young little girl, lovely little girl, and you'd be like, oh God, you know, you want to slap her or something. But it's like, you look back and it's just so hilarious. She used to rip through these lockers. She must have seen him doing it so many times, and she'd rip out lockers to bits. Save him doing the job. So it was quite.
I like to wear her out so she'd sleep at night.
Good idea, isn't it? But thinking back on that, it's just hilarious. I just think that's so funny.
I'll tell you what was weird as well.
What's that? Go on, mate.
When I joined the Small Arms School Corps in '97, anyway. My career went on from there. I ended up being a Warrant Officer Class 1, and I ended up being in charge of training at Pirbright.
Oh, right.
So I was the WO1 in charge of the training wing, so I used to go and visit training and make sure they were doing it all properly and everything, which is quite ironic when I used to have my daughter trashing lockers.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not allowed anymore.
No, that's it.
It wasn't allowed then, but hey.
But it's all character building, they'd like to call it. But it's all in jest, and like I'm really cool with it. So yeah, I just think it's hilarious. This brings me on to a little subject, confession time. The things we got up to in the block. I'm gonna confess and tell you a couple of things.
Right.
I think once you caught us out, there was a rule which was no drinking in the block, I think.
Yeah.
And we went to Tesco down the road. I think it was Tesco's.
Yeah, it was on the roundabout. Yeah.
Bergen.
Yeah.
I collected a load of money from the guys, and we had a block party. And he was going through our photos. Like I said, just you know, we had loads of photos back then. Kids ask your parents if you don't know what photos are. We didn't even have phones in them days where you can take photos. Yeah, just going through our photos, and he found some of ours where we was getting drunk in the block, and he's like, Griffin, come over here, give me 20 press-ups, and just we roasted. So yeah, we did break the rules, but it was a bit of a let-out, if you like. Yeah. It was stressful.
Work hard, play hard.
That's it. Yeah, that's what you do in the army, isn't it?
Yeah.
You work hard, play hard. Yeah. And there was a time as well, I I don't know whether I should be saying this. I'm grasping myself up. Hopefully he's not going to charge me. Oh no, you can't charge me anymore, can you?
No.
No, it's right. Cool. So, you know, we had a big corridor. So you had, I can't remember the layout. I think there was 4 accommodation blocks with a big corridor in between.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that right?
4 rooms. Yeah.
4 rooms, yeah. And so in this big long room, there was the offices and where you line for your like, parade or sort of things. You all line up. And on these walls, there were all things about your weapon, about military rank, about bits and pieces to do with the army, just to help you through your training, because you have to learn quite a lot as well during training. One of the things that were on there were the ranks of the British Army, so obviously you need to learn it. And one evening, I took the corporal things off. They were like actual cloth, if you like, cloth.
Oh, yeah,
I took the corporal things off, I bunged them on my arm like that, and I went downstairs and I ragged the new guys coming in. Sorry, mate.
Nice
Sorry,
one.
mate, but it's
Brilliant.
You just do these sort
You
of
might
things.
have been in trouble if you got caught.
That's it. But it's looking back, so that's 1-1 now. See.
Yeah, that's even.
What happened to me after I left Bassingbourn? Well, as I said before, we went to phase 1 Bassingbourn, and then phase 2 was Catterick. I got injured during my phase 2 training. That was mainly more infantry training, if you like. So learning about different weapons, upskilling your fitness, that sort of thing. I got injured during that, and then I got a little bit disheartened, I suppose, and I started to look around at different options. That's when I chose Logistics Corps. I think, to be honest with you, it was a good move for me. Going back and chatting to some of the guys that I went through training with, I think I made the right choice, because they didn't have a great time. It was quite boring for them, doing tasks, menial chores, that sort of thing. But I actually done quite a lot during my time. I went to Bosnia, as I said, went to Banja Luka in Bosnia, but we was part of we're driving, so we do loads of different things. We go all around the country, so it's quite good. We got off camp. I delivered everything from water to the hilltop sites, to fuel, to rounds, and also at one point we delivered Prime Minister Tony Blair. There you go. So quite varied. Every day was different. Iraq, I was attached to the postage, which we were based at Basra Airport. So again, we used to go Al Amara, Kuwait. We went to Basra Palace, Shaiba. Went everywhere because that's wherever the British Army was, that's where we went for the mail. That's about it from me. What did you do after Bassingbourn?
After Bassingbourn in 1997, I decided I enjoyed teaching, training people, so I transferred to the Small Arms School Corps. They teach people, Small Arms School Corps teach people how to teach.
Okay.
So they're based in Brecon, so they do the junior Brecon phases. They get involved with senior Brecon, so they teach how to plan live firing exercises. So you can go away, plan an exercise and conduct a live firing exercise. And also they supported training teams all over the world. I ended up going to the Baltic states not long after the Russians withdrew, really.
Oh.
And I lived in Lithuania and Estonia for 6 months.
Wow.
Retraining the Baltic Defence Force, because after, obviously it was a Russian army then, and then the Russians withdrew. There were some Russians left behind that they were interesting to train. I remember a sergeant major in my squad, an ex-Russian sergeant major, and he must have been in his 20s. So
Wow.
I said to him, how come you're a sergeant major and you're in 20s? Normally you're in your late 30s, 40s. Mm-hmm. He said, I did well in training, so I got sergeant major. I was like, what?
Okay.
So now we can understand what's happening in Ukraine and why it's happening.
Sure.
When they choose people to be a sergeant major straight from training.
Wow.
But yeah, and then one of my last jobs was to conduct exercises in a certain part of Wales, in Pembrokeshire, how to bring in jets, joint fires like artillery, mortars, that sort of stuff. Basically heavy weapons, how to control all the heavy weapons, and it was anything from an infantry company at a time to RLC, medics, everyone went through. So that was the build up before they went to Afghanistan.
Wow.
That was the last job I did.
Wow.
Previously, right, I was with Special Forces for 5 years. I was their training wing advisor.
Yeah.
I conducted all the live firing and trained them how to conduct their own exercises. If a new weapon system came in, I would teach them the new weapon system, particularly mortars, javelin, any heavy weapon like that. That was an interesting 5 years, really. I was on call as well, so if something happened and they wanted me to set up an exercise anywhere in the world, I'd have to go and do that for them, similar to the operation that they were going to do. And I didn't really have any leave, because every time I went on leave, because it was only me to sort of conduct all the heavy weapons and stuff, the phone would go and I'd have to bin leave and go and set it up somewhere.
Wow.
But yeah, it was never a dull moment there.
That sounds really good.
And then I got out in 2015. I didn't really adjust very well. Quickly found out that I had PTSD going back to Northern Ireland in the 80s, all the way up to when I was in Iraq. I was there for a while, like most people, and then I ended up in combat stress for 8 weeks residential. It was 2 weeks to assess and then 8 weeks residential treatment. So they identified a number of traumas, and then at the end of it, they said they only deal with one trauma and you got 13. So I was sort of hung out to dry. And there are people that were residential with me that are no longer with us because they didn't use the right tools, in my opinion, to fix PTSD. We're so far behind. The Americans are so far forward. And unfortunately, 3 of them are no longer with us. One was as recent as last week. Which is heartbreaking, really.
Sorry to hear that, mate.
Yeah, for the Americans, they use different tools and methods to try and fix it, because they learnt from the Vietnam War and they learnt quickly. And why we're not doing what they do, I don't know. But hey, that's and now I live in Lymington. As you can see, it's good for the soul.
I'll just give you a view. Look at this. It's beautiful. What a place to sort of live. Nice and relaxing. Really nice. Right near the New Forest. So you've got countryside up there. Oh, wow.
You've got cows and horses blocking the road.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
I thought it was a bit strange.
Yeah.
And the first time I came down here, I rang with my wife now. I was coming to visit, and I said, "There's a horse in the road." And she's like, she's from here. She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "No, there's a horse in the road." She said, "Yeah, that's normal. You're in the New Forest, so yeah, I'm used to it now."
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, cyclists.
Oh, there's cyclists everywhere. It took me
ages. This must be the capital of cyclists. It does my head in.
It took me ages to get here this morning. I was a little bit late, about 5 minutes late. But But just touching on your or people's experience with PTSD, I experienced PTSD, as I'm sure I've told you before. So when I come back from Iraq, I come back originally on leave to go to my brother's wedding, to be his best man. So I coincided my leave to fit in with his wedding. So I came back and I had a hard time sleeping. One night and I think this is probably my first or second night back in the UK. I had really hard nights sleeping, like moving about a lot, heavy breathing, that sort of thing. And my missus put her arm on my shoulder just to make sure I was okay. And I hit her. And I was like, I nearly killed her. And I'm like, that's not me. I'm not a woman beater or anything like that. That's not what I am. It's you're back in the situation where he was back in Iraq, sort of thing. And at that time, I realised I could probably cope with the PTSD, but once it involved my family, I'm like, okay, I need to get out of this now. And I realised I had a problem with PTSD, and I'm lucky that I found it pretty soon. Some people find it many years later. Some people don't, even though they've got it. They can notice they've got symptoms, but they don't realise what these symptoms are. So from there, so I went to my brother's wedding, and I was feeling like crap, to be honest with you. And during these 2 weeks as well, my mum died, and that was like, I was already at rock bottom, and it was like another kick in the balls, if you like. And I found it really hard to cope, and I couldn't go back. It was easy as that. I couldn't go back to Iraq. My mind was just not on it. My mind was in a completely different place. I was messed up, and I was just in no fit state to go back. And I was getting daily phone calls. Look, you got to come back. We need you. And I couldn't go back. I went to the army. Went to the MD, doctor, and they didn't do anything for me. I think originally I got a month's biff chit, but they didn't want to help me. They didn't help me in any way. They didn't help me with any psychotherapy or anything like that, and they just wanted to get rid of me. I was no use to them anymore, and so they just wanted me to go, sort of thing. Yeah. I thought, wrongly or rightly, if I'm putting my life on the line, they're going to help me out when I need it, but it just wasn't the case. So I ended up getting medical discharge in 2004. Took about a year for the discharge to come through. And even up to today, I'm still struggling. I take, about 10 different tablets every day just to get through various things. This is what they don't tell you about the army. You can get PTSD. I've got arthritis. That sort of thing. But I don't want to bring a downer on it too much. PTSD is a thing. We could do a whole new video on that. It's one part of being in the army. Some people get it. Some people can go through exactly the same experiences and not get it. It's just flip of a coin. So I just thought I'd give you a bit of information about me and how I dealt with PTSD. There are plenty of places out there you can get help now. I will put in a few places where you can get help. It'll be down here. Also, it'll be at the end of the video. So check them out, guys. They will really help you, like they helped me. If you want to put any comments in a below discussion or even email me, just email me. My information is on my channel, Travelling Veteran.
I think they've changed the way that they deal with PTSD now. I think it is better. They've realised that they were using cognitive behavioural therapy, which basically means if your brain is like a computer, you've got bad files in your head.
Yeah.
So what they want to do is bring it to the surface, the home screen, look at it and then delete it. Well, CBT is very dangerous if it's not done properly. It can open Pandora's box, because not only you bring it to the surface, you might not be able to delete it, and now you brought it to the surface again, it can be twice as bad. And because it didn't work for me, I'm on tablets as well, the same as you, but I self-medicate with alcohol. 4 bottles of wine a night, starting in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That's how it.
I admit I probably drink too much, but I probably should cut down. But I'll say that could be a whole new video in itself. So what did you think about the army back then? Generally,
I mean, when I first joined the army, the training probably was not a lot different than what we put you through. It did change after you went through training. It went a bit, as far as I'm concerned, it went a bit woke.
Yeah.
But I got sent straight from training to West Belfast, and you just had to fit in. If you didn't fit in your small little team in West Belfast, you were in trouble. The team was in trouble. So you just had to, you hit the ground running.
Yeah, sure.
And it was an experience. We lost someone there. I got involved in an explosion. What was I, 17? Yeah, we all grew up quickly.
Yeah.
I wasn't any different than anyone else. It felt good when we got back.
Yeah.
We were in Germany at the time, and we did play hard in Germany. There were a lot of big exercises with armour. We were an armoured infantry battalion. So we had, they looked like tanks but without a turret gun. So they were called 432 armoured personnel carriers.
Right.
And I ended up in mortars. And I loved it because it was big bang, you know what I mean? And I did a bit of guiding it in, I did a bit of putting the bombs down.
Wow.
And really, throughout my army career, I'd always been a mortarman. And when I joined the Small Arms School Corps, from when I left teaching training, I went to the mortar division in Warminster. That was the headquarters, and everyone that wanted to learn how to control mortars, from officers all the way down to lance corporals, had to do the course at Warminster.
Wow.
So then I spent a few years there going through. I taught the NCOs, then I taught the senior NCOs, then I taught the officers.
Yeah.
And then I went to a place called Training Advisory Group UK. And then that's when we went all over the world conducting overseas exercises for battalions, and it was fantastic. Yeah, so I had a really good time in the army. What I didn't like was when I was struggling, they kicked me out like they did with you, and that's when all the regrets started coming through in my brain, and then PTSD, and I couldn't sleep like yourself, so self-medicating with drink starting in the afternoon. And then when people tried to tell me to do things, I'd smash up the nearest thing around me, otherwise it would be people.
I'm smiling, not because I'm taking the mick, but we know what it's like.
Yeah,
we've been through it. I've been through it.
So at the time, enjoyed it. Looking back, I've sort of got resentment because they didn't look after me when I left, and I think they're improving, but I still don't think there's enough help for us when we leave the armed forces.
100%. I'd say that, definitely. When I first got medical discharge, I didn't want anything to do with anything army related whatsoever. I had loads of kit, as we all do, and I just sold it all to an army surplus store for a cheap.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Just sold it on. It's a lot of
pennies.
It brand new. Yeah. I think I got about 50, 60 quid, but it was like loads of kit. It was all issued to me, so it was all my kit, if you like. But I just sold it, and I didn't want anything to do with the army whatsoever. It's only in recent years I've started reaching out to a couple of the lads that I was serving with. I've reached out to my old unit. I'm not sure what your experience is, but in our unit, once you left, you were like forbidden. You never not existed anymore. Nobody spoke of that person again, and it was really hard to get back in touch. And now, I think 99% of the people in that unit, in my unit, discharged now or left anyway. So we're all civilians. So I'm able to sort of get back in touch with them. And it's quite difficult. I found it hard, difficult to deal with PTSD because these guys who were still in and had the PTSD, they had their mates around them that they was able to sort of bounce off and help each other out. Whereas once you're out, you got no one, as you said.
And it's a stigma. Once they find out you've got problems as well, no one wants to go near you. True.
Yeah. Do you know what a mate of mine said? I've suffered with PTSD since 2003. Recently, my civvy mate said to me, because he knows me, he knows my history and all that. He was saying, "Oh, but you're all right now, aren't you? That was before. You're all right now, aren't you?" It's like, they just don't get it. You're never sort of all right. One day you're brilliant, and the next day, for whatever reason, you're just down there, or it's just one day at a time.
So that's what the medication's supposed to do, flatline your emotions. So you don't get peaks, you don't get troughs, you just like...
I found with a lot of medication, a certain medication, you're feeling like a zombie, like you just exist in, and it's like...
sertraline and stuff,
It's like, you just exist, and you're thinking, what's the point in this? It's no good. But yeah, if you're feeling like that, get back in touch with your doctor, because there's plenty of other medications out there nowadays.
I've got a lot of the medication. It's just there to stop yourself harming yourself.
Yeah.
Having those thoughts. That's all it is. It's not help. It doesn't help anything. It just puts a little sticky plaster on the wound. The wound's still there.
Yeah.
That's what people got to understand.
What did I do as a civvy coming out of the army? I carried on. So in the army, I was Royal Logistic Corps once I left Phill. So I was a lorry driver, or my official title was drops driver. If you don't know what drops is, I'll put a picture up here. And we that was my official role, but being a driver, we done everything, a bit of everything. So I carried on that afterwards, but soon I found out that I couldn't sleep again. I had this problem. I was sleeping like 1 hour a night, and I was waking up like bright as a button, and I really had a hard time sleeping. I ended up being disabled, if you like, going on ESA and disability benefits, PIP benefits and all that. And that happened for about 2 or 3 years. And at one point in my life, I don't know what it was, I thought to myself, surely life, there's something better to life than this. And I thought I had to make a change to my life, because I didn't want to be the type of person just getting benefits, and I just didn't think it was fair. And also, whilst I was getting these benefits, I was volunteering at charities as well, so I wasn't getting money for nothing. I was giving something back as well, because I had plenty of time on my hands, and it took away my sort of mental, give me something to do mentally, mentally challenging.
Diverted attention.
That's it, yeah, diverted attention, so give me something to do. And it was that point when I thought, I need to do something, let's go back to square one. I went back to college, and I trained to be an electrician, literally back to square one, and I never looked back. Started up a YouTube channel for electricians called Dr. Electric, if you want to check it out. But I will warn you, if you're not an electrician or not electrically minded, it'll be boring for you. So I went straight back to square one and rebuilt my life, just to prove. And I think I was like 40 years old by that time. In college alongside 16-year-olds that were giving loads of lip to the teachers. During that time I got into the semi-finals of the Screwfix Apprentice of the Year, and also I think it was last year or the year before, 2021, 2 years ago now, I was in the final of the Screwfix Trade Person of the Year. So that, nationally, you think of how many thousands of people.
Well done, mate.
I was down to the last 10. Just to prove, if you put your mind to it, the mind can be a really strong thing. It can either really hurt you, or it can give you amazing things. And if you use it right, you can get whatever you want. And that's what I've done. Went back to square one. So again, it's never too late, is it?
No.
What do you think of the army now?
It started to change when I was at Purbright in 2010. It's difficult to tell now I'm out of the environment, but from what I've heard, there's a lot of coaching and mentoring involved in training. So when you were in training, I told you to do something, you did it.
Yeah.
That was training. Now it's changed. With coaching and mentoring, I have to use some sort of transformational thoughts with you. We've got to have a two-way conversation about what you're just about to do, so I can get you to do it properly, rather than I tell you and you just do it. So before, it was called transactional, like a transaction with a credit card. Bang, that's it, done. I tell you to do something, done. But apparently, that's not touching your heartstrings. If I make you talk about what you're going to do and to touch the heartstrings, then you do it better.
Okay.
That was started to come in. I don't really know how it's working.
I can get the idea behind it, but is it what you want, especially in an infantry platoon? If you're section commander and you're telling your section or fire team to go and do something, you don't want to be having a two-way conversation. You want to be saying, you know the reason. You don't have to explain the reasons why you want to flank left or right or something. You know that you need to go and do it. By the time you've gone through all the discussion of it, you're too late. You're dead. And also, you want it to be quick as well. You want, and also, being say like a private, and you're my section commander, I'm supposed to put my trust in you, and you've got an eye on the bigger picture, so you know what's going on, sort of thing. So,
I think it's a lot of it's to do with debriefs as well. If I was to say you did crap, you did rubbish, you did this, you do that, you might not understand where you went wrong. But if I was to get you to explain where you think you went wrong, then you own the bits that you need to put right, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're responsible for your actions. So whatever you've done wrong or need to improve on, I will get out of you rather than just tell you. Because if I start shouting and screaming at you, saying you've done something wrong, you're just going to switch off. That's the
yes
theory
and
behind
no. Because, there's been times when Phil shouted at me in training, same as he shouted at everyone. It's what happens in training, it's what gets you through, and it gets you to being a soldier. But what you do as a soldier, as a recruit, is you take in from that information, you take in what's coming in, and you don't necessarily take I'm trying to think of the right
filter
word.
the information you need.
Yeah. You don't necessarily take some of the insults, but they're not insults. Some of the aggression, I suppose, and you filter out. Right? Okay, next time I need to be doing that, or don't do that. Do this. So as a recruit, you do filter out, and that's what you do. I spent a little bit of time teaching, so I've got a little bit of an idea what you're going on about. I can't remember what it's called. This is another thing being in the army now. My memory is just no good. I can't remember anything. So you have to say what works well, what could you improve on, that sort of thing. Having this discussion with students. I think it's a similar sort of thing. Yeah. And I think some of the things in the army now are good. Some are not so good. So now, from what I hear, if you were a training team and you were training recruits, and a recruit didn't like you, they can give you a yellow card, is that?
I heard that, yeah.
So they can give you a yellow card.
Yeah, get out of my space.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah.
Yes, I get it. There have been stories of bullying and all sorts of things going on, but from first-hand experience, I can tell that what Phil put me through and the rest of his training team, it made me a better person, made me a stronger person, and it made me fit to go into a career into the army. So some of it I agree with, some of it I don't. Obviously, you don't want bullying, you don't want people to feel they're worthless or something. But you need to filter that out, definitely, but there's ways and means. Some of the good changes within the army, which I think are really good, is they're embracing a lot of different cultures. Some cultures, I thought, when I was in the army with Phil, doing basic training, I would not have liked to have be amongst in such a close confined area with gay guys. But looking back on it now, I'm more open, and I'm like, I think it's pretty good, to inclusive, if you like, and a lot of mixed race. There's a lot of people from Jamaica coming in now, and I think all that's brilliant. You can have Rastafarian, is it? Where you've got the dreadlocks, you can have all that. But I was looking at some of the girls don't even have to have their hair in like a bun. They can have a ponytail now, and the guys can have a beard.
Yeah, I've seen a few people on parade with beards.
Yeah.
But you've got to treat everyone the same. So if you've got someone that's Muslim and you tell them they can have a beard, why can't I have a beard as a Christian? So it's got to be equal.
Yeah, totally.
You can't have positive discrimination.
Yeah.
You can't have someone with a different culture doing things positive and then telling the other person they can't do the same.
Totally.
So yeah, I've let people have a beard. I mean, the only reason we were told that we had to shave was so the respirator's fitted properly.
So
if you're going in an environment where you know you're not going to have a respirator,
100%.
why not? Why not?
100%. And if we were going to a combat situation for like now, I would 100% have a shave, because it's just common sense. It's part of fitting that respirator. When you go through deployment training, you have to go through like respirator drills and respirator tests to make sure the respirator is working fine and all that. And it's surprising the amount of respirators that are not working. So they go in the bins. They fit up to a machine and it can tell if it's letting in any air or something. I don't know. But yeah, that goes in the bin to get a new one. Well, it might not fit exactly right as what it would in training, but if you're going into an environment that's you need it to save your life, you need it to be perfect. And also, I was really surprised, for women that are pregnant now, they're bringing out maternity uniforms. Do you know that?
Oh yeah, I saw something on the news yesterday. On the King's Parade, there was I think she was a naval. Yeah, I think she was in the Navy, and the Navy didn't have maternity uniforms, so she was there in a flowery dress on parade.
Wow.
So
okay.
that sort of, probably someone royal went, why hasn't she got a uniform on? And it takes something like that to change it. So yeah, they're now bringing in a maternity uniform for the Navy.
Wow. I think there's more development opportunities as well. I think what I saw a couple of days ago on the RLC 30, it's really looks like a good improvements within the Army.
That was your 30th year
Royal Logistic Corps, the newest. I think it's the newest corps in the British Army. Is there any other after that? I don't think there is.
Oh, they've renamed corps, like the Royal Army Physical Training Corps used to be the Army Physical Training Corps, but I think it's one of the newer ones. Yeah, what's her name? Princess Anne's the Colonel-in-Chief, I think.
She was there.
Oh, was she? Yeah.
The other day. I've got a lot of respect for Princess Anne. I done the Cenotaph Parade a few years ago, and she held up a salute there for what must have been well over an hour or 2 hours, just non-stop salute.
Brilliant.
And
I do like her.
A lot of respect for her.
You know, she comes down here a lot.
Is she?
She takes a boat out from over there.
Right.
She comes here. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think she's a patron saint of one Lymington Sailing Club or something down there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, she comes here a lot.
If there was one thing that you could change about the Army, maybe then or now, what would it be?
It would be prepare people, not just equipment and training wise, to go on operations, prepare them mentally and manage their expectations, not just throw you in at the deep end and say this could happen, that could happen, you might get PTSD. If you do, this is the help when you come back, because sometimes it's too late after the incident. You need to know what could happen to you and who you've got to speak to when you come back, and improve the stigma behind PTSD. If you can't speak to an expert, speak to your mate, because we always know someone that can help. That's how I would change the armed forces. Mentally, not equipment, not uniform, not bigger weapons. Mentally change the people that work for you.
I was going to answer a similar question to myself, but the answer I was going to say is exactly the same. Sort out the guys, or the guys and girls, male and female, more prepare them for PTSD, how to recognise what it is, what to do when you can recognise it, coping mechanisms, that sort of thing. All that, which we weren't taught. We was not taught. Phill was part of my training scene, if you like, and I'm not sure even if it was touched during training. May have been, but I can't remember.
Definitely wasn't.
So
no.
Prepare people, and when they come out, look after the soldiers. And that's not just from the Army, that's the British government as well. Look after the soldiers, because now, ex-Army, I have to go through NHS services. yes, there is the Armed Forces Covenant, and we're supposed to get quick service, but even though you can take easily 9 months to a year to get seen by a specialist in whatever area you want, and by then it might be too late. You want a quick reaction, someone who can deal with you there and then. So that's what I'd change. Pretty much.
I think the Americans are pretty good. I mean, for an example, they really do look after their veterans. And if you've ever been to America and you've been to a cinema, what happens before the film is shown? They ask if there's any serving or veterans from the armed forces. They stand up and everyone claps.
For our military members, ladies and gentlemen, today's flight 2512 is an honor flight. For those who do not know what an honor flight is, it's exactly what it's stating. It's honoring the men and women of our military that have sacrificed so much for our country. On behalf of Southwest Airlines, your veteran crew, we thank you so much for choosing us, being with us here today. The passengers are not part of this wonderful group. Please take the time, especially today being Armed Forces Day, to thank your military members. For our Air Force, Marine Corps, Army, Coast Guard, Marines, Army Air Corps, for got you guys on board. Navy. We cannot thank you enough. Navy, go Army, beat Navy. All in fun. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot thank you enough. So look around, look at each other, thank each other, love each other. God bless. Thank you so much. We all love you.
That's how they look after their veterans. And as far as mental health is concerned, they can't do enough for them. So yeah, we need to look at how other people, other armies look after their veterans.
That's really good. What does the future hold for you? Where are you going from here? I mean, not today, but in life generally.
Well, I think I'm in the right place. I don't really know, to be honest. I'm just taking each day as it comes. Got my van, that helps. I'm living off my pension. Working with other people doesn't really work for me, especially when I get angry. Now we've converted the van and we get away, that's helping, but I don't really want to do anything different than what I'm doing now. No,
why change it? Yeah, good. So if you don't know, Phil was telling me he converted the van into like a camper van sort of thing. He travelled around doing that. I mean, that is perfect. Who wouldn't love to do that? It's a perfect getaway, isn't it? So
yeah,
you need
especially with my
like
wife being ex-RLC as well, when driving. She drives the van everywhere.
Oh, lovely. That's what you want. So you can trust your wife's driving. Okay. I don't like my wife's driving. But
I'm getting used to it.
She hates me driving our car, by the way. So from here, where am I going? I'm going to carry on doing the electrical work. I'm just starting up. Well, in the past year, I've started up a new company doing solar power work. I'm going to probably build that up and possibly sell it at some point. But I want to really get more into YouTube. That's why I'm doing these videos, starting up this channel. And eventually, my goal is to, as sort of retirement, if you like, travel around the world doing videos, meeting people like Phil and others, as you've seen, and getting paid for it, like on YouTube, like many other people do. Why not? And you can, for all you guys that are interested in getting into YouTube and think, oh, wow, it's going to be loads of money. You can make money out of it, but it takes a long time and a lot of commitment to get there. It will take years to get there. But you can make a fairly good living, but at the moment, I'm making nothing. And it takes a long, long time to edit videos, film them, that sort of thing. That's where I'm going, really.
Been good to catch up.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Listen, Phil, it's been really good having you here. It's great seeing you again after 27 years or something now.
Yeah.
Gone too quick, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
Really great seeing you again. Hopefully, I'll pop down again. If I'm ever in
we'll
the area.
We'll do a catch-up video.
Yeah. See us in a couple of years' time, see what we've done, where we've come from here.
Same spot.
Yeah, why not, eh? Nice little spot,
If we've not been blown up by the Russians.
Well, none of us will be here then, will we? Listen, Phil, I just want to say thank you.
No, thank
you for training me and being such a hard person on me during training, and also thanks for this video.
No problem, mate.
If you guys really like this video, then please give it a like. If you give it a like, it helps with recommend it to other people. And also, if you're subscribed to my channel, I've got loads of these sort of things coming up. We're going to Gibraltar in a few months with an old banger that I got for 700 quid with a load of other veterans. That is going to be a mission in itself. It's going to be really good. Make sure you don't miss it. Click the subscribe button and the bell notifications. Listen, guys, thank you very much. From me, from Phil. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.